Chess has so many ways to play. From the very first move, the possibilities are almost endless. Each opening can lead to a completely different game, with its own unique strategies and tactics. It's like a vast, unexplored ocean of opportunities waiting for you to dive in. From the first move, you have tons of choices. You can play aggressively, defensively, or somewhere in between. The opening sets the stage for the entire game, and your first move can say a lot about your style and intentions. Most players start with openings like the Italian game or the Spanish game. These are classic, time-tested strategies that have been used by grandmasters for centuries. They are reliable and well-studied, offering a solid foundation for the rest of the game. But what if you want to do something different? What if you want to catch your opponent off guard and take control of the game right from the start? Sometimes the element of surprise can be your greatest weapon. What if you want to be in charge right away? What if you want to dictate the pace and direction of the game from the very first move? This is where unconventional openings come into play. That's where Bird's opening comes in. Named after the 19th century chess master Henry Bird, this opening is both unique and aggressive. It allows you to take control of the game in a way that your opponent might not expect. It's a special and exciting way to start a chess game. Bird's opening is not just about moving pieces, it's about making a statement. It's about showing your opponent that you're not afraid to think outside the box and take risks. You begin by moving your f-pawn 2 squares forward. This simple yet bold move can set the tone for the entire game. It opens up lines for your pieces and puts immediate pressure on your opponent. This opening is named after a chess expert, Henry Bird. Bird was known for his creative and unorthodox approach to the game, and his opening reflects that spirit of innovation and daring. It surprises your opponent because it's not the usual way to start. Most players are used to more conventional openings, so Bird's opening can catch them off guard and force them to think on their feet. Usually players fight for the middle of the board. Bird's opening is different. Instead of directly contesting the center, it aims to control it from the sides, creating a unique dynamic on the board. It's about controlling the middle from the sides. This can lead to unexpected and creative positions, giving you a strategic edge over your opponent. It's like saying, "I'm not afraid to try new things." Bird's opening is perfect for players who want to break away from the norm and explore new possibilities on the chessboard. Even super strong players like Magnus Carlsen have used it to win. This shows that Bird's opening is not just a gimmick, it's a powerful tool that can be used at the highest levels of play. That tells you how good it can be. If a world champion like Carlsen can use it successfully, then it's definitely worth considering for your own games. Bird's opening is a mix of surprise, smart moves, and attacking chances. It's a dynamic and flexible opening that can lead to rich and complex positions, offering plenty of opportunities for creative play. It's a good tool for any chess player. Whether you're a beginner looking to try something new, or an experienced player seeking to add another weapon to your arsenal, Bird's opening has something to offer. If you know the Dutch defense, you already have a head start in understanding some other chess openings. The Dutch defense is a solid and strategic opening that many players use to control the center of the board and prepare for a strong defense. Bird's opening might seem a little familiar. This opening is often chosen by players who want to surprise their opponents and take control of the game early on. That's because they both have a similar idea, moving your king's bishop to g7 or g2 for black and the Dutch. This fianchetto setup helps to control the long diagonal and can be a powerful weapon in both openings. But there are some big differences too. While the Dutch defense is a response to white's d4 move, Bird's opening is initiated by white with the move f4. Bird's opening is for white, and white gets to move first. This gives white the initiative and the opportunity to dictate the pace of the game right from the start. This lets white move their queen's knight to c3 early, aiming for a weak spot on black's side. This early knight move can put pressure on black and create opportunities for an aggressive attack. This gives white more attacking power. With the right moves, white can quickly build up a strong offensive position and challenge black's defenses. Knowing how Bird's opening and the Dutch defense are alike and different is important. Each opening has its own strengths and weaknesses, and understanding these can give you a strategic advantage. If you understand the Dutch, Bird's opening will be easier to learn. The principles behind the moves are similar, and this familiarity can help you adapt quickly. And learning Bird's opening can help you understand the Dutch defense better too. By studying both openings, you can become a more versatile and unpredictable player, ready to handle a variety of situations on the chessboard. The middle of the board is super important in chess. Most openings try to control the middle by putting pawns there. Bird's opening does it differently. By moving the f-pawn, white controls a special square called e5. Black can't put a piece on e5 easily. If black tries to challenge the center with a pawn on d5, white can put a knight on f3, making it hard for black's pawn to move. This kind of control gives white an advantage. It makes black react to white's moves, so white is in charge. Knowing how important e5 is helps both players in Bird's opening. Some people say Bird's opening makes white's king a little less safe. This opening, characterized by the move f4, can indeed expose the king to potential threats. However, it's important to understand that every opening has its own set of risks and rewards. It's true that moving the f-pawn can create some weak spots. The f-pawn move opens up the king's diagonal, making it vulnerable to checks and attacks. But this doesn't mean Bird's opening is inherently bad, but it's not a big problem. With proper planning and strategic play, these weaknesses can be managed effectively. The key is to stay vigilant and anticipate your opponent's moves. Chess is about taking smart risks. Every move you make has consequences, and understanding these consequences is what separates good players from great ones. Bird's opening can lead to dynamic and exciting positions. White should be careful with their king. Ensuring the king's safety is paramount, especially in the early stages of the game. Developing pieces quickly and castling early can help in achieving this. Moving the king's knight to f3 helps protect the king. This move not only defends the king but also controls important central squares, contributing to a solid position. Usually, moving the king to the side is safest. Castling kingside or queenside can provide the king with a safe haven, away from the center of the board where most of the action happens. But sometimes moving the king to the other side or even leaving it in the middle can be a good idea. Depending on the position, unconventional king moves can catch your opponent off guard and lead to unexpected advantages. Bird's opening isn't about waiting around. It's an aggressive opening that aims to control the center and create immediate threats. This proactive approach can put a lot of pressure on black. You should protect your king, but don't be afraid to attack too. Balancing defense and offense is crucial. While safeguarding your king, look for opportunities to launch counterattacks and keep your opponent on their toes. Black's king is often not well protected in the opening, so white can create some threats. By exploiting these weaknesses, white can gain a significant advantage early in the game. By playing actively, you can put black on the defensive. An active and aggressive approach can force black to respond to your threats, giving you the initiative and control over the game. Bird's opening has lots of different variations, just like other chess openings. Let's look at some of the most common ones. From's Gambit, black immediately challenges white's center pawn. This leads to exciting and tricky battles. The classical setup. Black tries to build a strong defense and get ready to challenge white's center. The Leningrad setup. Black develops the king's knight to control a key square. These are just a few examples. Each variation is different and fun to learn. The best one for you depends on how you like to play and how your opponent plays. Trying different variations will help you understand Bird's opening better. To really see how good Bird's opening can be, let's look at a game played by Mikhail Tal, a famous chess player who loved to attack. Mikhail Tal versus Alexander Koblenz, 1957. The game starts with the usual Bird's opening moves. Tal develops his pieces, getting ready to attack black's king. Then Tal sacrifices a pawn to open the board and start a big attack. White's queen joins the attack, putting lots of pressure on black. Tal sacrifices another pawn to make black's king even weaker. Finally, Tal makes a quiet move that forces black to resign, because white can checkmate black's king. This game shows how powerful Bird's opening can be. Bird's opening is more than just a surprise. It's about thinking differently and being creative in chess. Here's why you should try it. Surprise. Your opponents won't expect it. Attacking power. You can attack right away. Flexibility. You can play in different styles. Don't be afraid to try Bird's opening. Learn the main ideas, try the different variations, and have fun. You might be surprised by how well you play. You might even start winning.